Not. All right, so the first one says that the concession stand is selling bags of assorted candy and bags of peanuts. The concession stand sold $272.25 worth of candy bags and peanut bags. They used a total of 275 bags at the last game. If a bag of assorted candy sells for $1.25 and a bag of peanuts for 75 cents, how many of each were sold by the concession stand at the last game? So the first thing we do, just like we did on that brick problem Friday, is we decide what are our two unknowns, what are our two variables, what are we looking for? So what are we looking for? Well, tell me in words, like what things are we looking for?
How many were sold at the concession stand?
How many what?
Peanuts and candy.
Good, good. So I'm going to let P be the number of peanut bags.
And then the cost worth of.
Well, we know the cost. We know the cost. We don't know how many bags were sold. I like to use letters that help me remember. You can use X and Y if you want to. It just helps me to use letters that make sense because then I just don't have to look back and remember what X and Y are. Please identify what they stand for or you'll get kind of confused when you're writing a problem. So we knew two totals. We know how much total money and how many total bags. So which equation would you like to do first? The bags or the money?
Money.
Money. So that's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, there's the total. That's how much money I made. How did I make it? I sold bags of candy for how much?
0.75.
Candy.
I don't know.
$1.25?
Yeah.
So $1.25 times C, because that's how many bags. $1.25 for each bag. Plus, how much were the peanuts?
0.75.
Okay, so 75 cents for each bag of peanuts. That's how I get my total. That much money for candy, that much money for peanuts. So I need to know how many bags to know how many to multiply by that. Good job. Now, what about the next one? The number of bags. How many total bags were sold?
275.
275. So what did I sell? Bags of candy, bags of peanut. How many bags of candy? How many bags of candy did I sell? Right, we don't know. But what letter did I use to represent it?
C.
C. So I'm going to say C plus, how many bags of peanuts?
I don't know.
275.
How many bags of peanuts?
P.
P. Remember how we did that with the large plus the small bricks equal the total bricks? The candy bags plus the peanut bags equals the 275. You have to have two equations in two variables. Two equations, two variables, or you can't solve this. So don't make up numbers here. Put your letters. It looks like I could fairly easily solve this by substitution or elimination. Because substitution, I would just like subtract one of these and get one letter alone. Elimination, I would multiply the whole second equation by something. Let me tell you a little trick I like to do. You certainly don't have to. But since y'all don't like decimals, here's a little trick you can do. If you multiplied this whole first equation by 100, you would get rid of the decimals. That's still a legal maneuver that would keep the same value, but then you wouldn't have to worry about decimals. So if you don't like decimals and you don't want to worry about a mistake, multiply by 100. The reason I chose 100 is there's two places after the decimal. What that does is it moves every decimal over two places, gives me a new equation with no decimals. So you certainly don't have to do that. That's just something I like to do first, mainly because I usually do it without a calculator. But since y'all have calculators, you don't have to do that if you want to just type your decimals in. But it might remove your chance for error or reduce your chance for error. Okay, let's look at number 2. I love the money, the coin problems. We have a collection of nickels and quarters, and it's worth this much money. There are 3 more nickels than quarters. All right, so we have a total money And we have a total, nah, we don't have a total number of coins. This one's different. This one's tricky. So what are my two variables? My two, and I forgot to ask a question here. The question should be, how many of each coin are there? So what am I looking for? What are my two variables?
Nickels and quarters.
Good. Let's let N be number of nickels and Q be number of quarters. How do I do the money? What adds up to 465? What do you want to put here? Nickels plus quarters?
Yeah.
So the number of quarters plus the number of nickels would equal a dollar amount or a number of coins? Oh, when you're counting nickels, how do you count them?
Coin.
By fives. Why? 5 is their value, isn't it? So good, Mikey, if I am talking about money, I need to know the value of each one. So each nickel is worth what? 5 cents. So I need to do 5 cents times each nickel plus, how much is each quarter worth?
25.
25. Miss Jones needs to get better at spatial reasoning here. Okay, 5 cents times each nickel plus 25 cents times each quarter. That's your total dollar amount. So when you're counting coins, assign their value to them. Because that's how you count money. You count the nickels by their value, 5, 10, 15, 20. You count the quarters by their value, 25, 50, 75. So you have to put their value there. Now the second equation is going to be tricky because it's not a total, it's a relationship. Now this one's a tricky one. I want to tell you how I think of it. I think of it as I start with which one are there more of, nickels or quarters?
Nickels.
Nickels. So I'm going to put nickels equals because I just established which one there's more of. There's more nickels. How many more than quarters? 3. How do you show 3 more than quarters?
You write a 3.
Write a 3?
Yeah.
A little more specific.
What else? 3 more than quarters. How do you show 3 more than quarters?
3 greater than Q.
Ah, 3 greater than Q. I like the way you worded that. So Q plus 3, can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so do I have 2 equations with 2 variables now? Yes. But the second one wasn't a total this time, it was a relationship. Sometimes you're going to have a relationship instead of a total. Nickels is the quarters plus 3. It's 3 more than the quarters. All right, questions? You could do the same thing here. You could multiply the first by 100 and get rid of the decimals if you wanted to. I'm not going to do it right now. Okay, a red boat and a blue boat. We're racing down the river at different speeds. When the red boat traveled for 5 hours and the blue boat traveled for 4 hours, together they covered a total of 448 miles. When the red boat traveled for 2 hours and the blue boat traveled for 3 hours, together they covered a total of 252. How many miles per hour did each boat average? So I'm looking for the speed of each boat, right? Which kind of boats do I have?
Red and blue.
Red and blue. So I'm going to say red is the miles per hour of the red boat. So the speed of the red boat. B is the miles per hour or the speed of the blue boat. So this one kind of writes itself for you. It has 2 sentences that kind of write themselves for you. Somebody want to be brave and write the first one for me? How do you show that the red boat went 5 hours?
5R.
Perfect. Good job. Plus, the blue boat went 4 hours. 4B equals? Yeah. Good job. Who wants to be brave and write the second one for me? Oh, come on, people. All right. Go ahead.
2R plus 3B equals 252.
Perfect, excellent, good job. So this one kind of, do you see what I mean by it kind of writes itself for you? That one's those are the easiest ones to write in my opinion. Now it wouldn't be really easy to solve. It would kind of be like number 4 on Friday's paper where you had to multiply both of them by something to get them to eliminate. So it would be a little difficult to solve, but good news for you, I'm not making you solve it today.
Yay.
Thank
I
God.
don't like doing that.
Oh, math is awesome.
I still
Okay, the gate receipts to the opening UNT football game were $133,372. A total of 17,406 people paid for tickets and were in attendance. The reserved seats cost $10 each, and the general admission tickets cost $6 each. Once again, I forgot to ask the question. The question should be, how many of each ticket did they sell? So what kind of tickets do we have?
Football tickets.
Reserved and general admission. Good. So R is going to be the number of reserved tickets. G is going to be the number of general tickets. This is kind of like number 1 in that we have a money total and a people total. Now, isn't people the same thing as tickets? Because each person pays for a ticket. So, all right. What do you want to do first? The money or the number of tickets?
Money.
Money.
Money. So, reserved seats are $10 each. How do I show that?
10R.
10R. Plus general admission
Six.
are
G.
6G equals big number. There's my money equation. $10 for each reserve ticket plus $6 for each general ticket. That's how I get to the total. Now my total people or tickets, how do I arrive at that? Hint, it's like number 1.
10R plus 6G.
That's still money. I'm not doing money anymore. I'm doing number of tickets.
R plus G.
Perfect. Excellent. R plus G, the number of reserve plus the number of general.
She said like number 1.
Yeah, I gave you a hint, like number 1. On number 1, we did C plus P. So in this one, R plus G. Like I said, that should be the simple one that for some reason gives us problems every time. All right, the last one, tacos and more. Sells tacos and enchiladas. Brianna bought 2 tacos and 3 enchiladas for this much. London bought 4 tacos and 5 enchiladas for that much. What's the cost? This is like the boat problem. So we've got what do I want? The cost. So T is the cost of one taco. E is the cost of 1
Enchilada.
enchilada. So this should kind of write itself just like the boat problem did.
2T plus 3E equals 2.39.
Perfect. There's Brianna's. Now we need to write London's. Someone else?
4T plus 5E equals 4.20.
Perfect. See how that one just kind of, we made an equation for Brianna and an equation for London.